Hello everybody, welcome to NannuoLive. Today we are speaking about how we source tea in the time of COVID-19. First of all, let us know if you can see and hear us well. Matthias, can you say something?
Hey, hello everyone. Welcome. Thank you for joining. I see there are already plenty of people online. So hello, good to see you again. Most of you are often joining our NannuoLive session, but it's great that you like it.
Please let us know if everything is fine with the audio and with the video. And then we will get started. In the meanwhile, I was, maybe Matthias, you can check that if they are writing something. In the meanwhile, let me greet also those of you that are watching actually this video offline. It's a video where we will have topics that will be also available afterwards and is really worth watching. And then some tea quiz that we will do also with the live followers. However, first of all, I want to say that in the description below, we will write all the time tags where we speak about, we give important information about how actually Nannuoshan is influenced by COVID-19 and also another few topics that for sure are of relevance for you. But moreover, I want to tell you that there will be also a tea quiz for you, which means that for those of you that really are interested in watching the whole video, at a certain point there will be a quiz, and if you pay attention to this video, you will definitely know the answer to that question. So the first one that gives the answer to that question will receive a 20 euro voucher for the Nannuoshan online shop. All right, so you audio and video looks good. Is Sigi writing? Thank you, Sigi, for joining. So very good.
Thanks for
Let
that.
me tell you guys what we are going to do today. As you see, we have some notes here just to make sure we tell you everything. And as you know already, the main topic today is how our tea sourcing in China is influenced or is affected, I should say, actually, by COVID-19. Moreover, we will do a lot of quiz today, a lot of tea gaming. So we will drink tea all the time, and you have to guess the tea we're drinking. We drink only tea that are right now on our website, and the first of you that guess what we are drinking will receive a pouch of the tea we are drinking, and in addition to that, a 20 euro voucher. We have 6 teas that are waiting to be drunk, 3 from me and 3 by Matthias. So it depends how quick you are to guess the teas, but in theory we have 120 euros worth of vouchers plus 6 pouches of tea for you. Moreover, we will go a little bit through some of the latest video that we have done, those where that you have liked the most and those where you have most questions, and we will use this opportunity here live to share with you some additional thoughts to answer those questions, because even if you have watched the video, you might now go back every time to recheck the comments that other people have written so that you can gain a little bit more information about those topics. So, said that, I will give the word to Matthias. Matthias, are you already steeping tea there?
Yep.
Matthias is already steeping
Already
tea.
drinking.
Already drinking tea. So
So
why?
basically, you said today we're drinking all the time tea, as if we would never drink tea. Yeah? I think that's basically our normal.
That's our normal way of doing. So basically, we have chosen each of us 3 teas that we like, and yeah, I mean, if you tell what it is, I know what
Yep.
it is. So Matthias, go ahead.
Yeah. So let me taste again. So honestly, it's a tea that I didn't drink since a longer time, and it's actually, well, it's surprisingly well fitting to, I think, to the summertime. So it really gives you kind of this feeling of, everything is harmonic, and it's, yeah, it's just light. It's kind of, let me taste again.
I want to check what Matthias is drinking just to make sure I would be able to understand it, because so far, I mean, even for me, it would be really hard.
Yeah, no, it's actually, it has a special, also a bit, a bread taste, interestingly.
Bread, you say?
It's nice color.
What do you say,
Nice color.
Matthias? Bread tasting.
Very, very slightly. Very
Okay, okay.
slightly. I
But
think
like yeast, or
yeah. No, I think no. Maybe a touch of yeast, but I think more like rye
okay,
or other grains. So
some more
um,
cereal grains.
yeah,
By the way,
yeah.
guys, in the chat, write if you want to guess. Yeah, if possible, write in capital letters so we
Yep.
know that that's
That you're
actually
serious
is
about
you
it.
know that's a guess, and maybe not you are writing the tea that you are drinking yourself, right? Because I see some of you, like Giselle, wrote EU
Yeah.
2014. I don't know now, Giselle, if that was a try to guess the tea. It's not EU 2014, but maybe it's the tea that you were drinking, Giselle. So, oh,
No,
also
actually, it
Chiara is
has.
online. Great.
Hey, hi,
Hi,
Chiara.
Chiara.
It has a very slight hint of maybe something roasted, but
Okay.
it's very subtle. It's very subtle about that.
Hmm.
And
Is it?
yeah,
You said it's a refreshing tea. Is it?
I feel yeah.
You feel?
I think it is refreshing. It fits very well. Again, it's very light. Um, no,
And
it's
you
not a
know,
traditional Tieguanyin. It's much lighter.
much lighter than the
but
traditional. And you actually brought even the baked one. But yeah, Sigi, no, it's much lighter.
no,
Yeah,
no,
I
no.
mean, you see that in Zurich right now, it's like summertime. Matthias is outside
Exactly.
and wearing a t-shirt. I am here in DC, and so
And
in
in
theory
short.
here should be, wow, in theory here should be really hot at this time of the year. And today is is very cloudy outside, and I'm wearing long shirt. I mean, it's also relatively early in the morning here. Well, it's 9 a.m.
So somebody said Longqing could be, but it's not. It's not.
And also no
eh,
Donding, yeah.
no, it's not Dongding. No, it's more. I don't know. I mean, honestly, you can drink Dongding also in summertime, of course, but I feel that kind of fits um, even more to the spirit of.
And Matthias, maybe
Um,
you can
and
show the liquor of the tea.
the liquor, yeah, I don't have too much right now, but it's
Well,
very
I mean,
bright.
already from that, you can tell that it's not Tieguanyin baked and it's not Donding.
Yeah, yeah.
Unless Matthias has been steeping that for just a second.
No, actually, I've been steeping it for quite almost 30 seconds. I mean, I think, or like 30 seconds. I didn't really watch on the seconds, but I had it steeping quite a while, and it has this. Yeah, now you can't see it. Maybe you can see it in here. No, too bright. Okay, I'm
But
preparing
it
the
seems
next one.
definitely a very light color, more in the green-yellow
Yes,
direction of the brew, I would
yes,
say.
and again, it's maybe not a tea that I drink frequently. So I think the ones that know me know that I drink a lot of, of well, maybe teas like Tieguanyin or other oolongs. Um, but let's see. Let me go with the second
So
brand here.
then we have
Shall I go?
Sigi that is trying with Baihao Ingen. Is not a Baihao Ingen. I would say with the taste, are we getting closer to it though? And Chiara is writing Yun Ucha. Well, that's not the tea that we have. I don't know if that's
So, and
is it
if
the name
you
of
can
the
see
tea
that,
or with Yun Hu, what you're referring to.
do you need to maybe
Yansei
put the white paper behind
Gujutsu
it?
is also not. Oh, that's a good call. Yeah, look at the color. I mean, the color to me
Quite
it
tannin.
tells a lot. I can tell you. So try to exclude things. That's the best way to approach.
Yep.
So think about what Matthias has
Oh,
told
so
you.
Wart has already a guest there.
So we have
Yunshan Yinsen.
Junshan Ingen is also not Junshan Ingen. I mean, Ward is, or Vard. I'm not sure about how to pronounce your name, but is a good call because I told you before that Baihao Ingen is not, but we are getting close, and you picked up a yellow tea that is
Yeah.
also whole buds and very similar in taste. It's not that one. Yeah. What about Matthias? Show the leaves. Show the leaves.
Oh yeah, sure.
Those are the wet leaves.
Let me get closer.
Yeah,
Can
I
you
can
see them?
see. I can see very well. Yeah, yeah. So
Those are the wet
that
leaves,
tells
yeah.
also quite another bit. It's I know it's not easy actually.
It's actually quite green, huh? I mean, the leaves are very green.
And what about the smell of the wet leaves, Matthias?
Ooh, some kind of fruits even.
And what about vegetable taste? Is there?
Yeah, maybe some some vegetables that are also having sometimes something sweet in it. So those vegetables that are like colorful. Maybe carrots, maybe, or how do you call it? Pepperoni, bell pepper.
So when you guess the tea, we really want to know the exact name of the tea. So now we are getting very close. So Sigi wrote Huoshan Huanya, and then my question would be, is this a green or a yellow tea?
It's now who can type faster. So
the question is to Sigi. Sigi, is this a green or a yellow
okay.
tea? Yes, 50-50 chance. Yeah. That's
Let me
funny.
text him.
Yeah, I mean, he will listen. There is a little bit of delay, so so
let's see.
No,
I think we need it's a photo finish, like in this.
So the fact is
the
that
liquid looks more amber than greenish.
Sigi, you have to tell if it is Huoshan Huanya green tea or Huoshan Huanya yellow tea.
Yeah, maybe you should text them, because
Jesus,
I mean you have the delay with the audio.
So well, anyway, I see that Gabriele Zimmerman already wrote Huoshan Huanya yellow, which Matthias I think is what you're drinking, right?
Sigi writes yellow too. Yes,
yellow too.
Indeed
So now is a little bit on the. I didn't consider that. I didn't think actually that we have that tea that is called the same, both the green and the yellow one, because it's exactly the same producer that make it both yellow and green processing, exactly the tea from the same gardens. So
would you say, is it a tie between Gabriele and?
It's a tie between Gabriele and Sigi. So what I would say, we do like that. We share between the two of you. We send you, both of you, a pouch of tea, and each of you €10 voucher. Yep. So you share the voucher, and each of you get a pouch of tea. I hope that's okay for you. Actually, our bad, because we should have thought that it is the only tea on our website that appeared twice. One in green, one in yellow.
Yeah. But I think like that's
Gabriele say Ziggy was first. Okay, then Gabriele, then we will give everything to Ziggy. That's, I would say, is very fair from Gabriele actually.
Well, basically Ziggy said the same. Feel free to set this one to Gabriele.
Do you have the chance to write down the names and so, because by the end we might not remember who won what. Do you have a pen here?
Let me write it down.
Yeah. And actually, I'm eager to start drinking here because I just got up. I barely had breakfast and I feel really thirsty. So what we want to do? I mean, you guys have guessed the first tea. Now you understood how the game works. We will play this game the whole time long. So the next one will be me drinking, and try make your guess. Write it in capital letter. That helps a lot. Matthias will follow up the chat when I'm speaking, and the first that gets it gets the tea and a €20 voucher. That's really cool. And what I was thinking, let me see what we want to speak about today.
Yeah. Also, you wanted to talk a bit about the current situation, right? And sourcing in times of cholera, COVID-19.
Well, cholera would be much harder. I just got this morning actually a message from one of our tea friends in China. I didn't have the time to read it, so I do that now. Let's see what she wrote to me. Okay. So I have some news for those of you that have joined our tea tour last year. I mean, also to Matthias, actually, I think this is a news for you as well. And you might remember that when we visited Tea City, you for sure remember Jianqing and also Catherine, by whom we have drunk a lot of tea. And so for those of you that were not participating to the tea tour, basically we started our tea tour bringing our customer to some of our most favorite tea shop in Shanghai. And my first, actually, the first shop I fell in love in Shanghai, and still the one that I like the most, is the one run by Jianqing. And there is another one just next door run by Catherine. Well, after 10 years working in that shop, Catherine quit. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
I was so
I
sad.
need to write to her.
Yes, yes, and she said, I mean, she of course loves tea and so, but she has a small child, and it
Yeah.
is very hard to her to follow up. And when I told her, and then she told me, but if you manage to come this spring, I will extend for another 2 months. Yeah, but I mean, as you know, I'm now I should be in China and I'm not. And anyway, Jianqing then wrote me, yes, it is so sad that she quit the job. When I pass by her shop, there is something, she's writing. Jianqing is not super fluent in English, and she writes, there is something, like there is something in the air, there is something sad when she passed by that shop.
Oh, wow.
And then she's...
and I think it shows that when we are sourcing, it's not only business actually, right? I mean, especially for the amount that we are sourcing, it's more personal connections, right?
Definitely, and the two of them were really connected. I mean, they have different business, they do different tea. Jianqing is more specialized in pu'er, and Catherine is actually very specialized in Taiwan oolong. Catherine shop is the only shop in China that is allowed to source directly tea from Master Atong in Taiwan. So they have a very good business there. But the fact is that when the Taiwan tea shop, this is also an interesting thing, when the Taiwan tea shop started many years ago, Jianqing was already working in the same tea mall, and they actually hired Jianqing to show them how to run a tea shop because they were not used to. So there is a strong connection between the two because they have known each other from 10 years basically. And then Jianqing is asking to me, China is much more safe, everything goes well. How is America? So I think we can, with that question from Jianqing, we can start speaking. First of all, steeping my tea. You don't see it, but I see it. And speaking aloud, how our tea sourcing was affected. First of all, I said right now I should be in China, and I'm not apparently. So usually in this time of the year is always if I go only one time to China, then it's definitely spring because I want to source green tea personally. While the other teas you can find also later in the year, you can go in autumn and you can find still good tea, actually any other tea, even directly by the farmers. But for green tea, you have to be there when it is harvest. And of course I had to cancel my trip, as we had to cancel also the tea tour. And what we did, it's hard, right? Because we usually plan to buy only tea and teaware for the year to come. And then we take time during the year to spread out when we put the products online. This is not because we don't want to share everything right away with you. It's simply because it takes quite some time to take the photos of all the products, post-process the photos, taste the tea, describe the tea, translate the page, and all these we have to do just in batches over the year. And I don't have to forget my tea here.
And by the way, Siki is asking, I think on Catherine's shop, is that the shop where you got the Bing Dao?
No, it's not that.
Talk about that?
It's not
no,
that.
It's not.
So the Bing Dao is another friend of us that she's really specialized in pu'er only, and she does the direct sourcing in Yunnan. And in that case, is one. I mean, some of our pu'er were sourced directly by us. By the way, not only by me. It could have been sometimes it's a tea from Benjamin, for example, when he was in Yunnan and directly Yunnan. And in this situation, Bing Dao actually is a tea that a friend of ours sourced for her shop when she was traveling in Yunnan. I bought it, Karin actually bought it for herself 2 years ago. She liked that. And then the year later, we asked if she had still something left. She had, and we bought everything she had left. Anyway, our big question was, I was supposed now to go to, oh shit, I already showed you the liquor.
Gabriele! So people can cheat.
And what I wanted to say.
And Forgotten Brew says to forget the brew is his job, so not yours. So
That's
according
true.
to
But
the name.
I have to say, Forgotten Brew, I'm really good at it as well, especially when I talk to you guys during the videos. And so the big question for us is how to source the tea, because so the first thing we did an inventory. We don't do that every year, but now we want to do actually every year. So when I was back in February, together with Henning and Dimitri, we did a major action 2 days long to weight every single tea we have in the warehouse and to count the amounts of every single piece of teaware. Was a lot of effort, and now we have a complete overview of exactly for each tea how much we had. We had already an overview because we have, of course, an inventory system, but sometimes things get a little bit messy there. So just to be 100% sure and precise of what we have. And for example, we discovered that we had some Dao Pao left that I thought was sold out, and we put it back online. So now, what's happening is that what we did, we look at the inventory and we checked how much tea do we have. Now, as a matter of fact, if you guys continue to buy tea at the same rate, the same quantity that you were buying it last year, this means that we will have tea for other 3 years. Okay, so we might run out of some of the teas, of course, because I will tell you soon why. There are some teas that you prefer more than others, but we have enough tea. What happened though is that our sales have increased quite a lot last year. So 2019, you bought much more tea online than 2018, also because the tea house was not there. Matthias?
And Bart says he expects to buy much more, so we will buy more. More
yes, and we have to say that it has been a very good start of 2020. We don't know exactly the reason. Maybe the YouTube channel is also helping. So you're buying much more tea from Nannuoshan that you were doing last year. I still believe for this year is no problem, but there is one thing that for sure we wanted to source this year fresh, and is green tea. So how to source fresh green tea if I cannot travel to China? So what we have done is the following. We have selected a tea friend of us that some of you know, Lily. Lily is not only, she's more a tea businesswoman. She's not producing tea herself, but she knows how. She has a very strong background because she has educated herself in green tea. She took classes, I believe at university classes actually, only about green tea. And Benjamin also visited Lily because I introduced Benjamin to Lily, and Benjamin was with her actually to learn more about green tea, and he confirmed to me that her level of knowledge of green tea, especially recognizing when she drinks what was done wrong in the processing, is really good. So we decided to rely on Lily Taste, and we have asked her to source green tea from us. So it means that she will contact some of our suppliers, some of her suppliers. She will collect tea, and then she's right now tasting tea for us, and we have already selected a few of those. She will collect everything in Changxing. This is the place where she lives, and then she sent everything over to Europe. So we want
your story.
Right. We want send out the tea from China until COVID-19 is over in Europe for the for the simple reason that although at the moment shipping works, there might be some delay, and we don't want to have the green tea staying in a in a warehouse from the shipping company for a long time until it is dispatched. We send all the green tea by airmail. Usually it arrives within 3 days, and it doesn't have to be longer. Lily, as some of you know, has a huge fridge. It is a fridge that is as big as this flat, and she stored all her tea and also our tea there fresh. And as soon as all this is over, I hope at the beginning of May, we will send everything over. So you will have our fresh green tea a little bit later this year. I assume is a guess. I assume more or less in June. But at least this way we can guarantee you that it is good tea, although I have not selected it myself, and also that it is fresh because it didn't stay out of the fridge for more than 3 days. So if you have any question about tea sourcing, this is certainly the right time to do so. And in the meanwhile, I want to tell you something about the tea I'm drinking. I say, if you want to guess it, write in capital letter. And I would say that honestly, I would also say that this tea is for me a summer tea. Today is not summer and the weather is really turning bad. Here it starts raining now and it's very dark in this room. I have some lights on, but I don't know how long the battery of the lights lasts. We will see. And it's a tea that I've been enjoying it recently a lot, and I've been drinking especially in the morning. What I notice here in this flat, there is a very beautiful light early in the morning, 6 a.m. You get up, you have the sun rising, you see the sun rising from the flat, and you have all the sun rays that goes through the window inside. There are these beautiful yellow tones from direct sun. You know when the sun is very low on the horizon, and every time I get up and it is a day, a clear sky, and I get up early and I see the sun rising, I have inspiration to drink this tea. Matthias, you follow if anyone attempt to.
Yep, I'm checking. Just.
We want also
so
to tell that.
By the way, Fausto also joined. He had a bit of delay, and he's just arriving now to the quiz of your tea. So
perfect, nice that Fausto also joining. So Fausto, for you, if you guess the tea I'm drinking, and it's a tea that is on our website, you get a pouch of this tea and 20 euros voucher for your next order. And by the way, what I wanted to say, something about the tea. Yes, please be fair. Don't try many different teas. Let's say that everyone try with just two different, two tries to guess the tea. Otherwise, of course, it's not fair.
So basically, Fausto says that you should get some sleep on the weekend at least. Yeah. So, question from me: what effect does the tea that you're currently drinking have on you? Is it calming down? Is it heating up? Is it refreshing? Is it balancing? What would you say?
It's not very refreshing, and I would say it doesn't have. I mean, it's warming up because I just drank a little bit. Yeah, as you see, I'm steeping it for long, so the water is no more very hot. But I feel like I have to take this pullover off because I'm starting, feeling it. So it's a little bit warming. Surprisingly for me actually, and surprising in a way and in another way not surprisingly, so this could help actually. Matthias of course knows what I'm drinking, and
yeah, but it's a tricky description. It's surprising but not. Okay,
it's surprising that it's actually warming.
Exactly.
But at the same time, I told you also that it's a tea that I like to drink in summer. And do you think I like to drink warming tea in summer? No.
So maybe you want to explain that for the ones that don't know, about warming and cooling. But do you want to say something about that?
Yes, we can say that when we say warming and cooling, we refer to actually traditional Chinese medicine. You know
So
that
it's not the temperature, huh?
it's not the temperature. It's not the temperature. It's when a tea has a warming effect on your body or a cooling effect. So green tea is a typical example of a cooling tea, and I would say, let me think, a black tea is a typical example of a warming tea. And these usually in Chinese, you distinguish between different physiology of different person. So you have person that are more warm or hot person and person that are more cold person. So you could say, for example, that someone that has a hot physiology would be someone that rarely have cold hands and feet, that is more keen to inflammations, but is not very keen to get sick, while a person that is a cold person would have extremities that get cold relatively quickly. It feels cold, especially in winter, very often. It might be a little bit more sensitive to falling sick. So, generally speaking, women are on average more often cold person than men, but it's not an absolute rule. As for myself,
I'm definitely warm.
and I'm a warm person. I'm a warm person, so I like cooling teas. But this one is not. I wouldn't describe it as cooling, and I am quite surprised actually, although I know the reason why.
And we have already the first guesses. So
Right. So you have really to
right.
write the name of the tea. So it has to
Yeah.
be the name of the tea as it appears on the product page of our website. If you just say it is an oolong tea, is not enough. We really want the name of the tea.
Exactly. So far, we have a lot of types of teas, but we need a specific name, right?
Exactly. So let me tell you a little bit more about how COVID-19 actually is influencing us. So first of all, I spoke about the tea. Let me speak about teaware. Luckily enough, we have still a lot of teaware that we purchased in the past couple of years, and they are not yet online. So for that, we have now some time during this year to bring all these products out. So I don't feel like we have to buy teaware this year, although there are some products that I really miss. For example, Lotus.
We have by the way a guess for a name.
Word Yunsi is what I meant. So Word, you are right. That's Yunsi. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
So Matthias, do you want to write that down? Here
Yeah.
is the tea. I don't know how well you can see that. This is Yunsi, and now you understand also when I was saying it is not cooling in a way. I'm not surprised. It is a green tea, so should be cooling. It's not because it's kind of aged. So it was a little bit difficult, but it didn't take long
But
for you to
Word
guess.
correctly connected the points, huh?
Connected
So
the points,
cooling,
yeah.
but not.
So very well done, you see.
Yeah.
And that's also because if you follow also our videos and what I told you in the past, in the video where I was drinking this tea with Caroline, I discussed exactly that point. The green tea is usually cooling, but this tea is no more cooling. And it's very thirst quenching. It's very nice drink. So as for teaware, there are a few items like a Lotus, like this one here, or for example, like tea scale. We are soon running out of pu'er needles. And at the moment, you buy really a lot of tea guanyin and you buy a lot of heichan. And I explained that, we see the fact, we see how many orders you make, and then we ask ourselves, why is this happening, because maybe sometimes we believe we have other teas that are actually very worth drinking and buying. So why people actually are all focusing on those and not on the others, right? Also, we know all our tea, we can access to all, and we realize which tea we drink most. So definitely tea guanyin was a very good meeting and gathering with Master Chen. I was very lucky to meeting him, and we purchased a lot of Tiguanyin. And I believe that you guys are buying. Thank you, Giselle. I'm glad that you like it. And it's what I wanted to say. Tiguanyin. So you see that we have online 7 different 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have nine. I think we have nine. We have nine different Tieguanyin online. So this means that you probably, or even newcomers to our shop, associate Tieguanyin with, associate Nannuoshan as a specialty shop specialized in Tieguanyin because we have a lot of Tieguanyin choice. Now, I, I I don't think I am more, during my sources specialized in Taiwanese than any other teas, but I definitely agree that Taiwanese from Master Chen are really special. And for those that really look a little bit closer, they realize that actually five of those, no, seven of those nine Taiwanese come from Master Chen. So it's, I believe that's the reason why you purchase a lot Tieguanyin, and maybe also because they are very affordable. Yeah, we got really good price from Master Chen. You know what? When we, Matthias, this is something also for you. When I purchased the aged Tieguanyin, he gave me really, really a good price, and his wife was a little bit upset and says that his man is really good at doing tea, but is really bad at doing business. And and then I bring it over, I start selling it, and then he brought me back to me in WeChat, and he told me, Gabriele, please don't sell the tea too cheap. He told me because it's really precious, and I have sold it out. It doesn't have any more.
Oh wow!
Both of these 3 years, the 95, the
What an honor
97,
that
and
we
the
have
1000.
that.
Yeah, so we are a little bit.
I think over time we got more and more Tieguanyin. No, it's actually we have now quite the selection. It's we are
Yes,
quite specialized in that, so it's not. I don't think there are many shops that have such a variety of
and
this
that might
tea.
be the reason why many people buy that. And then also Heicha. You recently purchased a lot of Heicha, and since Heicha is relatively cheap when it is also in large quantity, you sometimes order. I mean, relatively often you order a whole brick, like 1 kilo of
Yeah.
Heicha, that you never do for other teas. So despite the fact that 3 years ago I think it was, I sourced a lot of Heicha, we are kind of running out of Heicha. So I don't think if we
Yeah.
don't buy tea this year, I don't think we will have Heicha until the end of the year. It might not even be sufficient until the end of the summer. And some of them we have just another few for another few orders. So for those, I am a little bit upset that I cannot go over to China actually. And but I mean that's the situation. I will
Yeah.
consider going towards the end of the year
Yeah.
if needed. So that's why I'm not using all my vacation days so that I can go there. And by the way, I think another question that I want to ask you is if you have any teas that you would like us to source for you, let me know. So if there is anything that you miss in our offer, it would be interesting to know, and we can definitely consider it. All right, so let me see what we have on our agenda next. I have it here in front of me
Yeah, we wanted to go about some questions that came in actually.
right now,
So
or the
no,
video.
not right now. I mean questions that we received for previous videos. I
Okay.
think that's what we're doing.
Yes.
No.
So maybe I give the word to Matthias. And Matthias, would you like maybe to speak about the video we made about how we process actually an order? The
Yes, of course.
and in the meanwhile, I
Yeah,
have a look at the chat here.
yeah. That was actually nice. We got some good and nice feedback on this video, so that's an honor. It was a bit special for me, having being filmed as I come home from my daytime job, and then to do my passion here at home with Nannuoshan. Of course, now that I'm, as most of you, quarantining at home, I have more time for that. And we also got some questions there. So one question was, is it possible to order over email, and how do you pay in this case? So we always must be cautious, about our about the credit card fees, etc. So if you order by email, then wire transfer, so this bank direct bank transfer is the way to go, and that would be how you have to pay. I don't know if you have something additional to that, Gabriele.
No, I mean that's the point, right? Yes, if many of you, by the way, have done that, we have received in the past weeks a lot of order per email, and we were able to offer actually a discount to each of you, and that's the way to go when you want to place a large order. So I cannot give you exactly, I mean, let's say something at 100, maybe €100 up, something like that. And then for that, we can take the additional effort on our side to process it by hand. But by that, we avoid getting charged from our Shopify, our backshop system, and also from the commission from credit card and from PayPal. And this way, we can basically turn this discount to you.
And yeah, in the meantime, we are getting a lot of questions.
Yes, I am writing them down. And or maybe let me shortly reading the question, and then we reply those, and then maybe I can tell. By the way,
it's about different teas that we should source. So,
yeah,
there are
let
suggestions
me
for
write
aged white tea. We do have already
tea
some
cake.
aged white tea, but maybe as pressed tea cake. That's the other question. Good quality smoked lapsang tea.
Give me a sec to write them down, and then I will tell you everything about each of that. Maybe Juan Pian will be nice.
Maybe while you do that, you want me to go over some other input we got on other videos. I have actually printed them out here.
Yes, yes, go ahead.
Maybe
go
I
ahead,
can check.
Matthias. Yes.
So one video that was also very well received was about tea storage, and Andrew commented there. Thanks for a great video. Thank you. I wonder how many people like me ran to a tea cupboard to pull out the jasmine tea and give it a new home all by itself. So that's very nice to hear. Of course, it's good to hear. All the other teas are giving you a big thanks for that change, I would say. So yeah, if you do have any flavored teas like jasmine tea, we also have pomelo teas, or any other flavored teas, then please make sure that they are apart from the rest. Ideally, really apart or in a separate container that is tight, and for sure not together with any other teas, because otherwise there will be a cross contamination, let's say, from the smell from this very intense tea.
Shit, I forgot the tea again. This was really long. Like I steep maybe this one at 85 degrees, likely with the lid open for maybe 5 minutes.
That's so atypical for you. Usually you're known for not steeping so intensive, so you like more lighter.
Except when I forget my teas.
Exactly. So yeah, that's that. And now, what do you want me to? There are a lot of comments on our container video actually. So there we got very many comments. So yeah, for example, there was a comment from Jan. I think he's on. Yeah, he's on still. He says that he has the experience that metal containers sometimes are on heat. I think probably, Gabriel, the most airtight sealing you can have with these types of bags, I would say. I don't know. And you have seen also some comments on that. And Jan continues. He says that he actually did a test pouring water inside, and it was dripping. And now he has switched to the ordinary glass jars. Also covered in the video, of course. Glass jars are okay, but it's translucent. So if you keep that in mind, of course, then you can still use it for storage. By the way, we will have a video on storage of puer separately. So that's already in the pipeline, coming out soon. Yeah. And Jan actually just right now comments, naturally flavored teas would be the best. From time to time, I like to have good osmanthus oolong.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Now, I also noticed that comment, Matthias, and I suggest now, I wrote down separately more or less all the suggestions that you gave us. So
Yeah.
shall we go through that and tell a
Yes,
little bit
please.
of each? So the first comment that I noticed was about high quality smoked lapsang, and here Matthias and I have a story to tell you. So last year we were visiting Mr. Two
Yeah.
during our tea trip. Mr. Two is a Ui rock tea master, and as many Ui rock tea producer, he also produces black tea in Tomboguan, because the Uishan and Tomboguan is not very distant from each other, as you have seen actually in the last video that we have published. There is in that video we show a map where you can clearly see where the two are, and they are 2 hours drive from each other. So we tasted, Matthias, you remember very well, and
Yeah.
smoked, was it smoked or not?
Yeah,
No,
slightly smoked, maybe,
yeah, but not
really.
not intentionally smoked. So it doesn't go
Yeah, yeah.
exactly in the direction that he is asking. So a high quality smoked lapsang. In that case, was an extremely high quality lapsang, and it was not smoked. But both Matthias and I just fell in love with the tea.
Yeah.
But it was extremely expensive.
Bling bling.
So we decided to buy one gin, so half a kilo, and to split that half a kilo between the two of us. So I can tell you actually the price, just that you get the feeling. And I mean, it was really a lot of money, okay? And I say it is wholesale price, and we paid 700 euros. So see, it's you can do the math yourself and try to understand how much would you pay if we source the tea that cost wholesale price by the farmer 700 euros for half a kilo. Add on top of that, you know, the shipping, the storage, paying our employees in Berlin, and the VAT and so on, and you can imagine. So as a matter of fact, when I arrived back in Europe, I couldn't find the tea. I opened the boxes, you know, I had 3 different boxes that I brought with me. I could take 3 pieces of luggages from China, so I took a lot, and I couldn't find 3 bags, were 3 bags worth 700 euros of tea. And then finally we found it. So there is high quality black tea there, and we are already in contact with at least 2 producers that are really worth sourcing from. It doesn't have to be as pricey as this one, because this one for sure no one of you would buy it. But we will consider it. Yeah, definitely. We have also from other farmers some, so this is a good call. I'm also seeing that here you're mentioning aged pressed white tea. I think it was Gabriele for saying that. Another other person already followed up and stressed the fact of having aged white tea. I would say at the moment we have, I think, a 2008 Bimodan on stock, which is already 12 years old. It's not too old. But to Gabriele and to anyone else, you cannot really have much older pressed white tea, because white tea was started to be pressed in 2006, in about 2006.
Yeah.
It was during the poor hype that in fooding they copied the bean chas from Yunnan, and they started pressing white tea. So before 2006, you cannot find any white tea cakes actually. I mean, it's not, you know, it's not the line that you draw on the calendar, but is it about that year that they started? But it's something that is relatively easy to find. It's something definitely we can consider. At the moment, I have to say, we have relatively a lot of fooding baicha, also some fresh one. That, by the way, would be my suggestion. Try the show made from 2017. Is extremely cheap. I think it's the cheapest tea that we have on stock from autumn, an autumn harvest, and you would be surprised. Yeah, and also the Baihao Ingen 2017 from the same farmer.
Fausto is actually commenting, it would be interesting to have a tea tasting set, like comparison of 2 teas or few songs. Maybe here actually we could mention that there is a workshop coming up soon where we do have a compilation of teas that you can order
Yes.
especially for this workshop. So it will be exactly that. So you will have different teas um, um, on Yunnan. So it's different teas from Yunnan, and we will go through it. And of course, you can also order it just for yourself, and you can order just small samples, or you can order a bit more if you would like to enjoy it also after the workshop, of course.
And Gabriele writes that she's drinking the show made 2017 all the time. So I'm sure, Gabriele, you can confirm. I said it's not a matter of doing really marketing and advertising here. It's really the cheapest tea that we have on the shop. And, but I said you would be surprised. It's cheap because we got a good price, and it is an autumn harvest. In autumn, white tea is even cheaper than in spring. People tend to think that the autumn harvest is less good. That tea was tasting good, and I just purchased it. So go ahead and try it. Of course, the Baihao Indian from the same year is more expensive because it's a whole buds. And by the way, this is well, Baihao Indian. There is another word to say. There are way of faking it a little bit. I will tell you more maybe in a video, but this is really a pure one, and it's really a treat. Yeah.
There are also questions. Oh, sorry, but there are also questions about teaware. Maybe if it is difficult to source good quality teaware and also tea trays like the one that I have here.
Yes. So tea trays like the one, I will write this down. Sorry, because I'm writing everything, guys, that you are you are trying. So that tea tray like Matthias one. We had those tea trays on the shop, both large size and smaller size. They got sold out, and I didn't purchase it anymore. Very easy to source them. It's just a matter of time. Easy. Super straightforward. I know where to buy. They gave me good price. You pay a little bit for the shipping, but we can save a lot by shipping over a lot of them, because you see they take a lot of volume. But yes, I wrote it down. As soon as we find the time to go back to China and organize a large shipment, I will get those. Generally speaking, when you ask if it is difficult to buy, to purchase a teaware, to me it's easier than tea. Yeah. So once you know which are the right place where to go to source tea, it's relatively easy. You have to make good connection with the artists to get good prices, and even to get them paying attention to you, because they tend to sell much larger quantities in China. But sometimes they are willing to cooperate and also to have a name, right? Because if they can tell people from Europe come here and buy our teaware, they can use this as marketing actually. So it is possible. We will have a series of really high quality teaware that comes out in the next few months. You have a first collection that just came out. And we have got just last week a couple of orders of that collection. Unfortunately, many pieces of those Gaiwan and Pitcher got broken, so we don't have a lot on stock.
Our hearts were bleeding. It was hard to see. It was lots of damage there. Yeah.
They are made by Sanshi, which means 13, and is the name. So this one, by the way, that I really like a lot. This we will call it Cloud Gaiwan. It will be one of the highest quality porcelain that we will have on our shop, and it comes with cups that have also this tiny wave like a cloud. It is a celadon porcelain, but the blue is so faint and so light that if you don't watch precisely, sometimes it looks like white, but it's not. And so on. So that will be done. You will see more teaware coming out there soon. Let me see, guys, what other teas you write here. Some Lao Chateau, yes, old Liu Bao. Yes, we can do that. So it's Liu Bao. I think our Liu Bao is a 2009 Liu Bao. Is not so difficult to source Liu Bao, because you might read the blog when I was in the Fangun tea market, which is the largest tea market in the world. in Guangzhou city, in Guangdong, and more than 90% of the tea shop in that tea market sell only pu'er and heicha. It is the best place to find heicha and pu'er, because heicha and pu'er is not stored at the farmer, but is stored in tea houses, in tea shops around China and Taiwan. So you have a lot of choice. The problem with that is always the price. So as soon as you get older, like 10 years is okay, but if you want like a 20, 30 years old Yubao, it start getting really pricey. Um, but um, but it's possible, and also here I have just to find the time to go to Fangun again. Um, by the way, it's really a huge tea market. So like it is as big as a small city. It might be maybe something like 3 by 2 kilometers. Yeah, so it's really immense. All right, guys. Naturally flavored tea was also commented. It's possible. It's not the type of tea that we really drink a lot. But for example, we enjoyed, and I know that also Jens enjoyed a lot, the pomelo tea, which is a black tea flavor with pomelo blossoms. The taste has a very natural honey taste to it. And Osmanthus, I don't have at the moment a producer that come up to my mind because I never searched for it.
But actually, you should say, I mean, the teas that we are selling, just to have that clear, the ones that are flavored are all natural flavored, right? The
Oh
ones that
yes,
we are selling,
yeah.
none of them is artificial flavored,
No,
right?
it's just we have just two of them. One is with jasmine blossom, and the other one is with pomelo blossom. Yeah, and so this was a little bit about tea sourcing. Thank you guys for giving us ideas on what to source. By the way, you can also think outside the box, meaning outside China. We have
Huge
tea,
box.
a huge box. We have tea from Japan already on our shop, and I would be glad if I find the time to do another tea trip in Japan. And we have also two Indian teas. It's just two of them, not many, but they are directly sourced. And this is very hard for a small shop. You can imagine how large are the tea company in India is very different than in China. And usually it's very hard for a small shop to buy direct. Usually people, other shops like ours would tend to buy by wholesaler. So there is always a third party in between. I was lucky to meet, just a second, Matthias, I was lucky to meet one farmer in an airplane and during a trip, and that's why I was able to source directly these two teas.
Gabriele, some people say that I'm quite low with my voice. Is there any chance that you can further crank it up on my end, or is that already the top?
Let me check. Ask if it is completely down.
Yeah. They say. Oh, okay. No, sorry. Some say that it's not so loud, and others say that there is quite some wind. Yeah, I think about the wind, it's difficult to do something. I'm outside.
Yeah.
Sorry,
And
guys.
it is the loudest we can go. So Matthias, maybe try to get, if you can, a bit closer
Yeah.
and a
I
bit
will
louder. What I can do?
Shall we actually go for the next?
Yes,
What
I
do you think?
I turn a little bit low my microphone.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
you have to raise the volume to hear both of us, and maybe that helps. Let me know if it helps.
Yep. Okay.
Anyway,
Perfect.
yes, Matthias, we thanks you for I say thank you for all the ideas about the tea, and I think now is the time to move to the next tea.
Yep.
Are you
So.
ready, Matthias, with that?
Yep.
Okay.
Ready.
And
Actually
while we do
started
that, maybe
already
we
bit.
continue and we'll tell you a little bit more about the video. I would like to share some information about the last two videos about the geography of Ui rock tea. But I give the word to Matthias
Yeah.
now. I've spoken enough. And
So yeah, I'm already drinking since some time, and it's a completely different tea from what I had been drinking before. So it's very intensive.
that's a bit too low. Okay.
It's okay.
I'm raising up again my mic. I think now, speak, Matthias.
Yeah, so they say that you were low and I was high in voice, so maybe you need to find a balance.
So I think
maybe
now
you go back.
should be better. We have two different. We can
Okay.
regulate the
Let
two
me see.
microphones separately, so now should be better.
Let me know. Note that we have track delay.
So Gisela write, Gabriele, du bist jetzt viel zu leise.
Yeah. But
Gisela, where do you live? Where are you
now
from?
that
I
it's
don't
okay
remember.
with the volume. So you know there is,
It's
as
fine
I said,
now.
there's some delay, but it seems to be good now. All right, back to my tea. So it's a very nice one. I really love it. It's very dense. It reminds me. No, I cannot tell that, but of another something else that you can drink.
Sorry, I laugh because I know what Matthias is drinking, and I see how hard it is for him to give just little information about the thing.
Yeah, because it's difficult. Yeah, but so it's rich, which also actually fits to the color. So it's a bit the color is less bright. It's also more intensive, I would say. I really love it. And let's see if there are the first guesses there. So guys, we need name of a tea that would be it. Let me smell.
Right, and capital letters, so that we know.
Letters,
Matthias, did you write who guessed the previous teas?
Yeah, I wrote it down. Yeah, of course. And so this one, the lid smells. I had actually the lid not on the guy one, and even after like 5 minutes, still smelling really intensively. And it's very difficult to describe without using something that is too obvious. Yeah, but it has a sweet touch to it, I would say. Yeah, it's a well, I can also say it's a classic tea. It's a big classic, and so I don't know. So Gabriele says Chinchun Mei. No, not Chinchun Mei. It's not Chinchun Mei.
That's not Gabriele. That's Günther.
Oh yeah, Günther. Oh
yeah,
sorry. Yeah.
The same problem happened yesterday because both Gabriele and Günther have the same surname and both start with G. So I think that Gabriele writes her whole name, like my name, Gabriele.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. Do you want me to show the color of
you want to show the color to the tea? Yeah, show the liquor.
The liquor, right? Okay, wait. It's very intense, almost red. Almost, but it's not. It's red, intense.
It's a very dark. It's like how can I say? It's so glossy red.
Yep. So very nice color. Really like the color. And Sigi writes, I know you like your oolongs, Matthias. and Jan has another guest. Is it Jingren Xiang? No, it is not. Right.
So you see, it's a very powerful color, actually. Yeah.
Powerful color, powerful taste.
And with the color, you can exclude a lot, right? Think about what you can exclude. Can it be?
So it's not a green tea.
It's not a green tea. Can it be a white tea? Only if it is aged. Can it be a yellow tea? Not really. Can it be a oolong for sure, but not all oolongs? Can it be a black tea? It can be.
Yeah, Jan has a second try and says down pound. Could be, but it is not. But it's not a bad guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, from the taste maybe, it really is like a lot of dried fruit in my eyes, plums, dried figs maybe, and
Guys,
also a
he's
bit.
giving a lot of hints. At this point, I would be very close to guessing.
Okay, so we have here vintage Dieguanin 1995.
No.
Nope. But all these guesses are like in the right ballpark.
Yeah, I mean you're moving
Neither
right,
exact range,
so we can tell it is an oolong.
so
It is an
you're
oolong.
amazing. You're
And
all
while
good.
Matthias steep a little bit more the teas, no Chiara is not Oriental Beauty. It's sold out. It's no more on our website, Oriental Beauty. First
So
of
we
all,
have
I mean I noticed that Giselle wrote
Rogui,
that
Malfoy,
is
vintage
not. She's
Dieguanin
from Berlin.
1997. White tea plus a shot of cinnamon whiskey. Yeah, well, actually, not that far from it. I mean, from
Guys,
the taste, it could, it could be right.
It could be whiskey.
So,
Yes, it could be whiskey.
it could be whiskey, could be cognac. I really feel it has that.
So what is
flavor.
what I everything you guys keep cutting off for me at least. Steve is writing. There is not much more we can do about the audio, unfortunately.
I have the feeling it was almost the best at the beginning, so you maybe want to go back to the original setting.
But the setting, if we are cutting off, is not that. What is everyone else saying? Are we cutting off?
So Taiwan Rogui is another guess. Unfortunately, neither.
We can just say, guys, you went very close.
Yeah, you went very close, so it is tricky.
So War say the stream is quite good here, so it means at least it's not on our side, which is.
Fausto says I lost the audio too on the PC, on the mobile phone. It's okay. So I guess it depends a bit, and yeah.
Like we stream
only. Also audio is fine, so I guess it's okay.
Okay, should be okay. Wow, Günther said audio is fine.
It feels like it's.
Guys, look at that tea. What can it be? We already told you that is an oolong.
Making a mess here. Shall I show the leaves?
Show the leaves. And at this point, guys, you have to guess.
Can you see them?
Look at that color. What reminds you?
Color also very intense, huh?
Right. Zig is writing that it might be a YouTube issue. Many people are streaming at the moment on YouTube. So, but the fact that some of you have good quality means that actually we are streaming good. Otherwise, everyone would have problem. Baijiguan? No, it's not Baijiguan, Gabriela. So if you look at the leaves, look again, show me the leaves, and I tell you what I see in those leaves. So if you look at these leaves and I tell you it is an oolong, a little bit far away, Matthias, it's too close, maybe, I'm not, but you see that they are extremely dark. It is an oolong and they are extremely dark. They are wet leaves, so wet leaves so dark, it cannot even be a rock tea. Yeah, a rock tea would have brown leaves when it is tea, but those are black.
So we had another down pal. It's not. And yeah, I must tell you, you were very, very close with your guesses before.
And now we do like that. I mean, I start. Yeah, we need to be precise. And I will start speaking a little bit about the last video about the geography of wheel of tea, because some of you made quite a few questions there. In particular, one of our customers from Hungary. I don't want to say the name because I've noticed that some of you guys use their own name in YouTube. Some other use some fake name, and for us it's not always straightforward to understand who there is behind. So I see, for example, Gabriele is Gabriela, that's clear. But I couldn't recognize Giselle, and she's saying it is not her real name. So she's from Berlin, but actually I don't know who she is. Maybe if you don't mind, guys, I see also Deacon.
sorry to interrupt, but we just have Jan saying vintage Diagonien 2000.
But this is the third try for me. Well, that's the right tea.
I think.
So what is everyone? What is everyone saying? After everyone tried so much, I would say we can give that one to Jan.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah. So Gabriele said charcoal roasted Diagonien, which is of course. But we said we wanted the name as it is on our page, and of course it's vintage Diagonien 2000. So congratulations, Jan.
You want to show do you have the dry leaves?
Yep, I can.
So we can show you the dry leaf and you will see. So we'll have also, so congratulations, Jan. You won a pouch of this tea, which is quite expensive indeed, from Master Chen. And also a 20 euro voucher. So the whole package is worth 35 euros. Not bad, not bad. And yeah, I was saying, I see also, I mean, I know who is Forgotten Brew. I don't remember right now your name, Forgotten Brew. I can check then back, or like a little lemon test. We don't know who you are.
Can see it like that. Can you see it?
Yeah, yeah. So you see how dark it is, because it is aged, but it was also fairly roasted back in year 2000. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what we want to say, you guys, since you are coming often actually to our live streaming, you want definitely to, you can send us an email to info@nannuoshan.org, and both Matthias and I will receive that email and tell us which person is behind your nickname. That would be nice, because we would really like to know who is our audience. We won't share your real name live with other people, but I think for both Matthias and I would be interesting to know who all of you guys are. And by the way, those that have won, send us an email reminding us your address, and we will send you everything. Just, you know, there might be several Jan, and we want really to send it to the right person.
Exactly. So write to us with your online name, but then of course we will need your address to send you the thing only. I mean, really, this tea is amazing.
It is the strongest Tieguanin that actually we have. And by the way, Matthias, actually, I mean, I know that you're really a lover of aged oolong tea, but can we say that aged oolong tea are your favorite tea?
So yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite teas. I really like aged oolong teas. Originally, when I started drinking tea, I guess it was my favorite. Yeah.
And so what about pu'er? You like better?
Yeah, I think I would definitely say pu'er is now my favorite, but aged oolongs are right behind it.
So we can say for you the first is pu'er. Is it Sheng or Shu or both?
Say Sheng definitely first, and then second, I would say followed by aged oolong teas.
So first place for Matthias, Sheng pu'er. Second place for Matthias, aged oolong. And I would say the first one is
for you
is kind of standard. Many of us really love pu'er, but there are not so many actually that put aged oolong very much on the top of the list. But I know Matthias really liked this strong taste. I remember when we were together sourcing Bayachilan in Pinghe in the south of Fujian, and we received as a present a 15 years old Bayachilan that were aged in large clay jars, and Matthias really loved that tea. Let me read a little bit what is happening here. Fausto say, I'm not sure I can reveal my identity. We had in the past also Tieguanin 94. Yes. Now is sold out, and also a 93 actually we had. I think Matthias has still of the 93. It was really great.
I still have some.
You still have, yeah.
Precious.
And while I boil some water for the next tea, that I have already put in the lotus. I wanted to speak to you about the last two videos that we have done about the geography of Ui rock tea, and how many of you actually have seen that video? Either both or at least the last one about the truth of the geography of Ui rock tea. Let us know, and so that we get the feedback there, and we know if it is also the right audience to go a little bit more into details, because we have received quite a few comments, and it is a very controversial topic, and also, very hard to find information on that. So we definitely want to share a little bit more if you are interested. I see that we have here some comment from, how to pronounce that, IZE10000009, which is the customer from Hungary. I don't want to share the name because I don't know if
Be
you like
precise
to
with
have
the zeros.
the name shared. I watched it like 7 times yesterday, okay?
So nice.
Gabriele, I've seen both. Okay, yes, I watched and enjoy both series. So I think we can go a little bit also Fausto did. That's good. Gisela is actually, I love this one, but why? Maybe laser answer. Gisela, what do you mean by that? Are you asking to Matthias why he loves Tieguanin 2000? Anyway, so I have here a few questions that you guys, in particular, actually, eyes, I don't know how to say that, from Hungary make, and I think we want to share those answers with you, because if eyes came up with, really weird to say this name, although I know your name, but if eyes came up with those questions, I think the answers are interested for everyone. So, well, first of all, there was a comment from Cinzia. That video was about the different location where Yencha is produced, what is authentic Yencha, what is not authentic, what is more precious than other, and so on. And I mentioned there that actually tea like Yencha is done also outside of Uishan County, although actually would not be allowed by the government. And Matthias, yes?
No, something else. They're just asking to which email address they should send their names to.
Info@nannuoshan.org.
Yep. So,
And right. Yeah, thank you, Decon. It would be really nice who you are. So Gisela is asking, yes, because it is so hard to drink this kind of tea. So for Giselle, Matthias, this is a question to you. For Giselle, it's really hard to drink very strong aged oolong. Maybe Giselle, you are a cold type person, while Matthias is a very hot type person. And it doesn't mean that actually would be the right tea for Matthias, because the Chinese say that if you are a hot person, you want to compensate with a cold tea. But to me, a hot person, a warm person, is also more can accept more the extremes. And the Tieguanin 2000 is the strongest tea that we have on stock. So Matthias, why?
I think that might be really part of the explanation. I have been already once in the past in some Chinese therapy, and basically they told me you should avoid things that heat you up. So you should not eat too spicy. You should not eat too hot. And actually, that's all the stuff that I love, right? And you shouldn't probably drink that type of tea, the Tieguanin. But I just can't stop. I just like it so much. And within these Tieguanins, I mean, I really like all of them, but the vintage Tieguanins that we currently have, the 2000 one is one that is really strong roasted, right? You have seen the colors of the leaves. It's amazingly strong roasted, meaning that it is actually one of the even hotter of these Tieguanins that are already hot as such. And yeah, I don't know. I just love it.
Of
So
our
really,
three
as I said,
aged Tieguanyin, the 2000 is actually the strongest one,
the
although it is the
strongest.
youngest. And
Yeah,
I could say, Giselle, also, for example, um, the you can see it also this way. Some people like a very strong aged whiskey. Yeah. And it's exactly the same type. Some people like espresso, some other prefer cappuccino and latte.
yeah,
It's sometimes some people are really keen to have this very high density taste and that lasts long, and when you put in your mouth it's like wow, extremely filling. And I can understand that is I probably like better aged whiskey than very strong aged Tieguanyin, for example, although sometimes actually I drink it as well.
yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, that's an interesting comparison. And honestly, I guess that's, I mean, before drinking teas, I like to drink single malt whiskeys, and I still do.
really?
And and I guess this might be why I like these aged oolongs so much, because they kind of remind me. Although honestly speaking, I feel aged oolongs, well, okay, probably a big debate, but I think they can even be, more complex, at least good ones, than single malt whiskeys. Because yeah, first off, you cannot drink so much single malt whiskey because otherwise you're drunk. You can get tea drunk, but it's not the same. Yeah, I think they can be very subtle. It's not, alcohol always has of course the alcoholic notes, although very well made um, aged single malts. They are very smooth as well. But oolongs and aged Chevronians, that's yeah, it's another world.
And I see a question here from, I will call you Hungary because I cannot pronounce this Hans. I see another question from Hungary, and is asking if Yancha that is produced outside Uishan is also called Waishan. So now, first of all, you have to think, it is very important for you that to understand that there is not really a definition of Waishan. Waishan means simply outside region. It means actually outside mountain, but in the sense of outside region. And is in contrast with inside mountain, that if I'm right, it is said Naishan. I can check that out, but I think it is Naishan, Naishan, but not 100% sure. I should check that out. And with that expression, you mean everything that is within the protected area. And everything that is outside, you call it Waishan. So, as a matter of fact, people could certainly use, Chinese could certainly use the term Waishan to mean anything that is produced outside of the protected area. But at the same time, actually, if it is outside of Uishan, is not allowed to be called Ui. They cannot really sell as much Taiwanese as in the past years. And we have got a confirmation also from a customer. You can see in the comments from Cinzia, maybe it's also a fake name. I have some Dahong Pao type tea, she's saying, yeah, but it is sold as Dahong Pao, made from Tianguanyin leaves from a knowledgeable farmer in Anxi. And it's very good. So you see that even if you have tea from Anxi that is processed in a Ui style, can be very tasty. But I assume, I haven't tasted that tea, I assume that you will miss those mineral soily note because the soil in Anxi is completely different than in Uishan. I remember having seen the color of the soil even, that is very, very different. So that's why you might also have really a different taste, yeah. But it doesn't mean that it's bad. And that's the whole thing, because with the extremely high price of the most famous cliffs, it's really almost impossible to get those tea for a reasonable price. And if you do so, it's most probably a fake tea. And then it's better for me personally to go in search. Either you want to spend the money, let's say at least 50 euros for 50 grams. Or it's just better to go and search for other teas that are still extremely good, maybe some banyan that is not as expensive and it's really wonderful. Like one, for example, yeah, our Baiji one is from a famous cliff and is from the first generation mother tree, and it costs a lot, 90 euros for 50 grams. But we have a Lao Tsong Shui Xian on stock that is not yet online, guys. It will be in the next weeks or months. That is still one of my favorite oolong tea, and is affordable because it comes from Dashui Keng, from a banyan soil that is outside the protected area. Is that boring, all this topic? Because I know it's very specific, and maybe for some of you actually don't care so much about all the specificities about the geography of Hui rock tea. I find it fascinating because it's very hard to get really insights into that.
I think it's also something that you only, you know, when you were there, then you understand it, and so it's good to get all the details right. So I, from my part, like that you described it in this video. Yep. So Jan says the most interesting aged oolong I have had is the 2008 voucher Xin. Oh, sorry, alarming here. Bai Xiangguo Hong Shui Oolong. Lot of passion flower aroma and taste, and also some wine cellar background.
Yeah, we don't know that tea, but passion flower, that's interesting. Yeah, it's so is probably a floral oolong, maybe not too dark. I mean, I have to guess, right? But you say some wine cellar in the background, so might be actually an aromatic oolong that was also a little bit aged. So you have both the depth of an aged tea, and at the same time all the aroma in it. And we have another question here from Hungary. Is it possible to get tea from reachable price Zhenyan that is from the protected area, or is only the inner scenic area which is super expensive? So no, you have also Zhenyan outside of the scenic area, the very core center, but you can tell that tea from Zhenyan is definitely always expensive. So you won't find that, in my opinion, of course, you can see it that way. Which are the odds that a farmer that can sell a tea easily at a very high price will sell it, a batch of it, to someone for a low price? Very, very low, right? They live out of tea, so it's their business. Everything can happen in this world, you know, it cannot be excluded, but I would say that the odds to have a cheap Zhenyan Yancha are very low. Yes, Fausto, you're completely right.
Yeah.
And he's saying that sometimes you use the main name of a tea, and then even if the tea is not exactly that thing, you sell it with that brand name, let's say, because people, that's only the thing you know, they know. And that's very true. And with Wu Yancha, you have a very clear example. Everyone, I mean, I see really every Chinese would know Da Hong Pao. Okay, they know it because it's so much advertising about it. It was given, I think, by Mao to Nixon back in the days, and it is, you know, a symbol tea. But not many, if you are a Chinese and you are not into tea, you might not know that Da Hong Pao is actually a Hui Yancha. And for that very reason, also in tea shop, they tend to label all the Hui Yancha as Da Hong Pao. And this is a problem in many places. For example, another problem is with yellow tea. Sometimes yellow tea, they use the label yellow tea, but it's a green tea. It is done with leaves, with whom you can do also yellow tea. So they continue calling it, for example, Huoshan Huanya, Huoshan yellow tea. But even if there is the word yellow tea in the name of the tea, they actually process this as a green tea. And if you speak to the seller and to the farmer, and you ask, is this actually processed as a green tea? If they are honest, they would tell you. But it is labeled as a yellow tea because simply a tea from that mountain has become famous with that name, and they don't want to change the name. So it's very, very true. By reachable price, I mean less than $2 for gram. Oh yeah, for sure, less than $2 for gram, you can have Genya. I mean, $2 for gram, it means 100 euros for 50 grams. With 100 euros for 50 grams, you can definitely have Genya. Our Baijiguan is from Genya, and it costs less than 100 euros. I mean, just a tiny bit less, but yeah, and you can even go. Do you guys want to know something about the tea I'm drinking? Maybe some of you are still eager to get the voucher. Yeah.
Let's see.
I continue drinking. You let me know if you want to know something about it. I'm enjoying it, so I can continue drinking without telling you anything. So Giselle might have to go for toilet paper. I see the problem, yeah. Last time we went to the supermarket, we entered just shortly after it was over. Yeah, Giselle, when this will end? So let me check the time. I would say we will finish by 5 p.m., so 11 my time, which means in 25 minutes the show will be over. So if you can resist other 25 minutes, you won't miss anything.
I think that's actually a good question. So there's the question: does it happen that when you sample a tea that you taste in China, that it tastes differently when you bring it back to Europe? So
Always,
basically, what is the
always.
influence of the environment?
Always.
Yeah.
Like, unfortunately, that's the case, and it's amazing. I had a discussion some months ago that I still remember very good with Benjamin, and Benjamin was so pissed off, I would say, because he was saying how it is possible, what the hell, that the oolongs here from Taiwan taste so different than when I drink them in China. And then we start to go deeper about that. One thing that we realize is that Benjamin lives at a certain altitude, so water boils at 97 degrees, just 3 degrees less, but it's so important for traditional Taiwan oolong to really bring the temperature very high. So this is one aspect. Another aspect to it is that water is different. Yeah, so it doesn't mean, I mean, I didn't try to bring water from China to try how it is here, but I can tell you, even the tea from Master 2, that are they taste amazing at Master 2. They taste amazing here, but it is a different level of amazingness. By the way, there is no tea online from Mr. 2. Just that you know, maybe in the future, this is something from those of you that join us with the tea tour. They are really amazing teas, but it is a difference and it's hard to explain why. And I have to tell you, Giselle, I believe a lot of that is the, how to say, is just your impression. Like when you are in a special environment in China, and you have, for example, in Mr. Tu's tea house that is so wonderful in every regard. You have this Chinese music in the background. Everywhere you look is extremely nicely decorated with ancient Chinese furniture, and he prepares tea for you. He could brew water and it tastes good. Is you know, it's
Yeah, I agree.
uh,
You said before that he's a tea master, but he's a true artist, right? I mean, he has really also a very good taste of style. I think his wife is Japanese or has
she's
mixed
Chinese, but
background.
she studied Japanese language and culture, and there is a lot of
Okay, okay.
Japanese. In fact, they have in their tea house, they have also a Japanese tea ceremony
Yep,
room, which
yep,
is very rare to find in China, actually.
yeah. And you can definitely see the influence in the style for all the tea ware that he has, for the tea room that he has, but then also I guess in his way to do the teas, and this brings you certainly in some mood, and of course has also an impact when you taste the teas. there versus when you taste it here in a different setting.
Definitely. And that's why.
Hey, Gabriel, what about your tea that you're tasting now? Don't
Okay,
forget
yeah,
that
don't
you have
forget the
the
tea.
quiz.
So let me tell you something about that. First of all, is a tea that I really enjoy. I mean, you would say I enjoy all the tea because I source them. That's right. But this drink I drink relatively often because it's one of my favorite types of tea. And I have to tell also that it's one of those tea that it has a very specific taste. You know, that kind of taste that if you drink and you know which taste it is, you really recognize it. But there are not many farmers that produce that are able actually to get really that taste out of the leaves. So it is a tea that sometimes is disappointing because you drink it, it should taste as his name goes actually, but it does not. And the one that we have right now on stock is really one that has this characteristic flavor. We have another one in our warehouse, as I mentioned in some videos. So if you are taking attention to the videos, you already know what I'm talking about. And we will bring that other tea also maybe out soon, so that you have a cheap way of tasting, a cheap type of tea, an expensive one. It's not too expensive though, but you know, a little bit higher price, and you can compare what does it mean having the tea made with the same kind of plants actually, but one tasting as it should and the other one tasting different than it should.
And there are already some guesses. So we see there.
So Forgotten Brew, you got it right.
Forgotten Brew already got it right? Xingrenxiang.
Is Xingren, did Forgotten Brew already won today?
Yep, that was the quick round. Maybe you want to show anyways the tea soup and the,
yeah,
and,
I will show you soon about the tea. And you know, I'm happy that you guessed it, because it means simply that you have watched the videos, because at this point, if I tell you something like that and I've already said it in the past, it's the only way to say that. And that's good. What I wanted to tell you guys, because I've read you are asking for baozhong. Yeah, baozhong is also possible. I was considering buying one last year. It's just it was a little bit pricey. Usually baozhong is not among the most expensive Taiwan oolong. And so I just didn't feel I want to buy it because it will be relatively high price. And usually you don't expect it to be. It was very good though, so maybe I will give another try last year. It's also, I wasn't in Taiwan last year. It means I had Catherine actually, that has this Taiwan oolong tea shop, sourcing it for us directly from the farmers. So sometimes that's the way we do. So yeah, congratulations. Yeah, I even gave more advice. So this is I don't know if you can see that, but this is Xingren. You have much better picture online. And you know, Xingren means almond, is almond fragrance, and you have this characteristic flavor of an almond with the skin, not the white almond, you know, the brown one, that has a little bit of sour bitter in it, and also the characteristic almond taste. And you can get that taste only really with some high quality Xingren. But that one was on your list. That's good. Good, so that also you can win a voucher. And the question to you is, which are the favorite tea from Matthias? Yeah, you have to mention which is the first favorite tea and the second favorite tea of Matthias. The first of you that reply in the comments below with the right answer will get a 20 euro voucher from Nannuoshan for the Nannuoshan tea shop. Let's see if someone will. My favorite Nannuoshan dance song. Oh, from Günther. Really, you really is your favorite? Yeah, I mean it is one. I mean, what I like of this Xingrenxian is that really have the Xingren taste, and the fact that we didn't bring online the other one, although we have it, it's simply because I was not happy with the Xingren taste. I was happy when I was in China. This is another example. And then when I received it in Europe and I tasted it again, although I'm 100% sure it was the same batch, because I took it with me when I was there in Fangwan, it was not testing where I wanted it to be, and so I said, okay, I will keep it. I won't sell it this one, but maybe we can just put it online for a relatively cheap price so that you can have a comparison. I think Fausto mentioned before, it would be nice to have sets to compare these. And to that point, for us is a little bit of effort actually to putting a product page only combining different teas together to offer you a set. You can imagine, we have to do a special picture for it, a special description and so, but that's actually why we offer the small 6-gram samples, so that you can actually very easily and cheaply compare different teas and make your own set and make your own comparison, taking also inspiration from what we do ourselves in the video. Like in the workshop that we have on May 9, we will do about a workshop about the taste of Yunnan. Some of you that are right now online already subscribe. The workshop will be also available for everyone to watch, but if you subscribe, and we will send you the teas so that you can drink along with me. And I will be drinking 6 different teas, 3 from Yunnan, 3 from everywhere else, and we in China, and we will try to find out how the taste from Yunnan, how the tea from Yunnan tastes. Yeah. Why we do that is, Matteo, you want to say something?
No, but yeah, basically, I just wanted to say thank you all from the audience, because I think basically this workshop was developed together with all you guys, because it was we had asked whether you would like to be able to order also these teas, and the feedback was very positive. Yeah. So now we offer that. So the workshop will be for free. And only, of course, you will have to pay something for the tea, but you can get it if you do it now. What again, can you mention what is the deadline to order, where it should work with the postal service?
Yes, if you are with the workshop is on May 9, so if you are ordering from within Germany, we suggest to order the teas at the latest 10 days before. Usually the shipment within Germany takes just 1 week, but or less than 1 week, but just to make sure. And if you're ordering outside Germany, within Europe, maybe at least give us 2 weeks to send you the teas. If the teas doesn't arrive on time, it's not a big deal, because you can always watch the workshop offline and repeat everything after me. If you are in America, at the moment it's problematic, because this is another impact of COVID-19. So we are actually spending more money to ship tea around. Even within Germany, we have to use more expensive postal services, because the provider that we were using before cannot work. It is DPD, and they work with kiosk where you bring your parcel. And since the kiosks are closed in Berlin, we cannot bring the parcel basically to them. So this means that we have to use other postal services that are more expensive. You pay exactly the extremely expensive. We usually can send up to half a kilo of tea for just €5, which is the same price as we send tea to Italy and everywhere in Europe. We can send it also to the US. As of today, it is much more expensive than that, so it's really worth it to place an order from the US only if you place a large quantity. Or if you want, another way of doing that is to make the order, and then as soon as all this mess is over, we will send it to you.
And maybe for the ones that are watching that not live, but later on, if you missed this workshop, don't worry, we will have more workshops to come. So one option, as Gabriele said, is watching the workshop later, as we will upload it to the channel as a normal video. But also there will be, of course, more workshops coming on NannuoLive. So we plan to have different topics there. So watch out for that.
Yes, definitely. And let's say these are mainly what we have been most affected from. Now a little bit of sun is coming out, so you see that half of my face is becoming dark. Maybe I can turn this light a bit stronger. Yeah. And what I want also to tell you is that actually one thing we have noticed, many businesses around the world are really struggling with COVID-19. And we are struggling to keep up with all your orders. It's a little bit the other way around. We are getting a little bit more orders in this time of the year. I mean, I don't know if guys, maybe like me, you are also drinking more tea while being at home. I'm drinking really much more tea than I was usually doing. And maybe for that reason you place more order. But I have to say we have seen a really a clear trend from the beginning of the year. We have got really much more orders from you, and we're very happy with that because the more orders we get from you, the better tea and the cheaper tea we can offer in the future.
Yeah, so thank you everyone. That's really great. I think you all know from the videos that this is not our main work for Gabriele and for myself, and our main motivation for it is really to spread tea culture, and I think then it's always good to hear that it seems to get on some real move here, and it helps spreading the word, and it's great to see that this is actually having some impact. So thank you, especially for the ones
Yeah.
here on YouTube.
Yes, yes, it is. And it's also a way of motivation, right? You can imagine that putting all these YouTube videos together is a lot of effort, and I can tell you it is. Um, and when we really see that the message comes through, and you are actually kind of rewarding us, with your comments, with your email, with your orders. It's just simply motivation for us to continue on the same path. Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Gabriele,
So
what would you say? Last quiz.
last quiz. We have 10 minutes. I don't know, guys. If you want, we can do one more tea for you to guess, and then we call it a day, let's say. In Europe, is almost evening. Here, the day is right now starting. So if you have some time, yeah, we can do the last quiz. We should be done in about 10 minutes.
So
If you are as fast as Forgotten Brew, we would be even faster.
so basically, I'm already drinking it.
Mm.
It's yet a very different one.
Let me check what you are drinking.
Ooh, it's
Oh,
let's
yeah.
say less intensive than the one that I had before,
Which is
but
not
it's
difficult.
actually still yeah, which is no surprise there. But it's still on the other side, still for its kind, it is actually an intensive one, I would say. I
Yeah, I see. I
yeah,
see that.
if I continue comparing, I have certain notes that are actually also a bit of red, like or yeah, I would say so. So that might be something that has a little bit in common with the tea I had before, but otherwise it's a completely different one. Already from the color, I will not show it yet because otherwise it will be easier. But the color is very different, of course. It's Mm, it's a good one for again for this time of the year. Mm, I really do enjoy this one too. So actually, I
And I can tell you more
mm,
about this tea in a different way. So it is a tea that actually uh, is a tea with which we really like to play, yeah, over the years. So
mm,
what does it mean? It means that we are not simply happy bringing just a tea out there, but every year we try to show you a different aspect of this tea by bringing and I bring back to the comparison that Fausto was mentioning before, by bringing you on the shop different type of this tea, and how can I say, and having you in a way of understanding by tasting, which is the difference, for example, in different processing of the same leaves. Yeah, when you process a tea that has exactly the same name, but in slightly different way, yeah, and I'm helping a lot here. Uh,
no,
it's not
it's
Alishan,
not
it's
the
not
Tigoni, and
Gangnam Tigoni.
it's really different. So it's a
And
complete different.
Deacon, before you asked if we have received your email, we don't know yet. We are
No,
multitasking, but not to that
check
level.
after.
We cannot check emails now.
Yeah,
And
you
also,
you
when
want
you
me to?
Yeah?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, when you send an email to info@nannuoshan.org, we receive it also a little bit later, just because of how the system works. But yeah, if you didn't receive any information from us, you can always tell us in the comments below, and then we check in our spam box. But usually we receive all the emails.
Yeah. So guys, remember we need the precise name, but let me
we need
show
exactly
you here
the name as it is
color.
shown on the website, and
Let me show.
Yeah, that's the color.
I think that helps.
It has to be a unique name.
Yeah.
It's very similar in color actually with the first tea that you had.
Yeah.
What did you
Yeah.
have? Which was your first tea? Ah, the yellow tea actually.
Yep.
So check out our website if you have some ideas, and let us know which is the exact name of the tea.
Yep. So, yeah, it has this, again, something that it does have in common with the last one is kind of this red. But otherwise, it has really a full.
Yeah, may I guess again? Okay, a little lemon test, 1.
Yeah,
very good.
Launching nutty.
Is launching nutty, and that's why I didn't reply to your first guess, which was simply launching, because we really wanted to know the exact name. And why nutty? Nutty because Longin is a so-called high fire green tea. It means that the chash, the kill the green, is done at high temperature. So you get a little bit of these roasted notes that are completely different than the roasting done for Ui Yencha and Tieguanin, or some black teas. Is not roasting done with charcoal, is simply heated up at a higher temperature. And you get a little bit of this warmer tone, and the nutty one has the typical chestnut notes of Longin. And we have also a floral version that it is a little bit of an earlier harvest, if I remember right, and was not heated up at very high temperature to keep a little bit more those peculiar floral notes of a very, very early harvest. So congratulations. Since we don't know who is hiding behind a little lemon test, but cool name indeed, please send us in an email to info@nannuoshan.org. Yeah. And I would say, Matthias, at this point, we have given a lot of voucher out, a lot of tea out. I'm glad that you were able to guess actually so quickly. It means that either we were telling you too much information, or you simply know very well our teas. Both ways is fine. And yeah, I mean, thank you everyone for watching. A lot of tea this year. Luckily enough, we have a lot on stock. And we are getting charged more for shipment, but let's say we know that this will be over soon, so we are happy to pay a bit more for shipment and keeping up you charged with tea in your shelves.
Thank you, everyone, and keep on drinking, and looking forward to the next sessions that we might have here on NannuoLive. It's great to see that we have kind of a audience that follows all our sessions, so it's great to see you again and again.
Yeah, and I want to tell one more thing today, because I almost forgot actually, is that if COVID-19 allowed, I have a flight booked back to Europe at the end of May, and I will be in Berlin as well. And I am trying to organize a tea session in Berlin. We have a lot of customers in Berlin. I'm missing my tea house, and I'm missing meeting you there. So we are trying to find out if we can find a location large enough to have a lot of you there, and simply, have some tea drink together. It won't be a workshop. When I come to Berlin, I'm super busy anyway, so it will be something very spontaneous. And we will, as soon as I have more information and COVID-19 is over and it's confirmed that I fly back, we will publish that probably in the newsletter. There will be for sure a limited amount of persons that can join, because we have some location in mind, but we cannot have 50 people coming. So keep an eye on the newsletter if you want to join me for a face-to-face tea drinking together. All right. Thank you, everybody. From my side, final greetings here. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Keep up
Thank you.
drinking tea. And don't forget, life is too short to drink bad tea. If you steep a tea and it's not good, just don't drink it and take another one.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Thanks. Have a nice weekend.
Bye, guys.
See you
Bye
next
bye.
time. Thanks. Bye, guys.
Bye bye.